Hang on a minute. I have a load of questions about castles. Let me ask the resident historian, my dad. Hey, Dad.
Hey son, what video are you working on now?
Resident Evil 4, one of my favourite games.
No way. Do you remember me calling you from Toys R Us when it first came out? And you made me explain the cover. A man looking scared with spiders in the background.
I do, and I have you to thank for starting me on my journey of the Resident Evil games.
My pleasure, son.
So what do you know about castles, Dad? There's a large one in Resident Evil 4. What other ones are there?
Well, I do know about castles, but I should start with a bit of an English lesson first. You see, they're called castles, not castles. Hope you don't mind me mentioning it, son. Before I begin, may I thank you all for listening and watching. I'm only too aware that you have a lot of choices, so my son and I are really humbled that you are willing to spend time with us. And I have a favour to ask. Please subscribe to Ash's channel. The story starts nearly 1,000 years ago, right in the middle of what we call the Middle Ages. Imagine this. It's around 1070 in England. The king is William I, also known as William the Conqueror, also known as the Duke of Normandy. He had beaten the English at the Battle of Hastings, and he's very happy with his new lands. In fact, he's so happy, he's gone away for the weekend to a hunting lodge not far from the Welsh border. His half-brother Odo is with him, and they've just finished lunch. Odo says to William, "That was fine venison, brother." William replies, "It was bloody fine venison, Odo." Yes, I'm learning English, and they seem to say bloody all the time. Bloody this, bloody that, and the favourite, bloody hell. Yes, well, if you don't mind, we've more important things to discuss, William. I've been speaking to the barons and lords around here, and I've got to tell you that the Welsh are revolting. Now, Odo, let's not be rude about our Welsh neighbours. It's the Northmen who are revolting. I didn't mean it like that, William. What I meant was that the Welsh are in revolt. They're sneaking into your lands from over the border and stealing sheep, cows, goats, grain, and anything they can lay their hands on. And they're ravishing the women folk. It's not on, you know. I know, Odo, and I have a plan. I'm going to build castles. Lots of them. You see, the big advantage of a castle over a wooden fort is that the Welsh won't be able to pull them down and set fire to them as they do. No. They'll have to go round them. And when they do, we'll lower the drawbridge and the mounted knights will charge out and cut them down. And don't forget that these castles will be so big that they'll make a statement to everyone that it's us, the Normans, who rule here. I'm going to build one in Harlech, one in Carnarvon, one in Conway, and all through the borders. And I won't stop there. I'm going to cover the entire country in castles to show our might. They're impregnable. I'll show the bloody English who's boss around here, all right. Oh, I'm also going to build churches, abbeys, cathedrals, all in stone to last over 1,000 years. And my crowning glory, Odo? I'm building one in London. I'm going to call it the Tower of London, and it will dominate that city forevermore. One thing you can say about the English is that they've got a lot of stone here. William, what's that man doing on the lawn? He's got one of your sheep under his arm. What? It's a bloody Welshman stealing my sheep. Guards, stop that man. But the thief was too quick. His name was Gareth ap Evans, and he was the best Welsh sheep stealer in the land. Fair-haired, freckled, and fast. He was gone with the sheep before the guards could say stop. Legend has it that the bloodline from this sheep lives on in a flock on a small farm just north of Cardiff to this day. The shepherd there saying that they produce the best tasting meat in the world, apparently. So England became a building site. In fact, all of Europe did, spending the next 400 years building better and better castles, more grand, more terrifying, more impregnable than the last. Some had moats, drawbridges, dungeons, battlements, round towers, square towers, arrow slits, and walls too high to climb, and even if a ladder was used, the defenders could easily push them away or pour boiling oil or heated sand on the hapless attackers. Now, let's go to 1494. Two major world events happened in this year. First, Christopher Columbus found the Americas. Secondly, Charles VIII of France unwittingly brought an end to the Middle Ages. Since William the Conqueror, kings of Europe had fought, built castles, defined chivalry, and championed the fighting knights in armour. Agincourt was 70 years ago, but battles were still dominated by where the castles were, and all this changed. Charles VIII was not particularly well respected or liked. He was known for his mood swings. In fact, his main claim to fame was that he was ugly. Very ugly indeed. Sickly, with a lopsided stoop, what he lacked in looks, he certainly made up for it by having a very calculated mind. In 1494, King Ferdinand I of Naples died. At that time, Paris was Europe's biggest city, followed by, you've guessed it, Naples. There wasn't a country called Italy yet. This region was filled with powerful kingdoms and duchies, all with their own rulers. There was a papal kingdom, of course, and Savoy, Tuscany and Sicily. But the Kingdom of Naples was the biggest, richest and most cultured. And Charles wanted it. He had a very tenuous claim. Ferdinand had ruled for 50 years, and although he left an heir, Alfonso, he was, unfortunately, hated and commanded no real following. Charles sniffed opportunity. His calculating mind kicked into overdrive. So in early 1494, he held a meeting with his generals. "Gentlemen, I have a very cunning plan," said Charles. "We are blessed being French. We have the biggest city in the world. We have the best fighting men, and I want Naples to be mine." The generals managed not to laugh, and one said, "Your Majesty, you are bold and it is a good idea. But I have to point out that the Genoese and the Venetians rule the seas, so sailing to Naples is out of the question. I also must add, Your Majesty, that by going by land with an army is not a good plan. There are just too many castles blocking the route. It would take 100 years to lay siege to them all. It's impossible." Charles smiled. "Oh, no, no, dear General. You're quite wrong. Let me introduce you to Bertrand the blacksmith." "Send for the blacksmith! Send for the blacksmith!" Bertrand arrived. "Bertrand, tell these gentlemen what you have invented." "Ah, yes, well, I build cannons, you see. As you know, they're made of iron and are great big unwieldy monstrous things. It takes a team of oxen to move them, and once you get them to wherever you need them, they've got to be put into a great big wooden structure, and all this takes time. If you need to reposition them, that takes time as well. So to besiege castles, well, it takes time. Months, as you know." "See," said the general, "it's impossible." "Well, not quite," said Bertrand. "I've invented a new way to make a cannon. I've made them of bronze, much better. And the best thing is, I can mount them on a simple wooden frame with just 2 wheels and on the frame a tail, so they can be positioned quickly and effortlessly. This means that they are highly maneuverable, and just a few peasants can be trained very quickly to use them. Ha! We can blast castles to kingdom come in days, not months. Furthermore, General, if a host of knights in armour appear, these guns can blast them away. The mounted knight is finished." "Hurrah!" yelled the generals. "We're off to Naples." So Charles and his army and his new field artillery set off for Naples, blasting and blowing up anything in their way. On the 22nd of February, 1495, Charles was at the gates of Naples. The good people of Naples, having heard how every castle had been destroyed that was in the way of the French, surrendered without a single cannon being fired. Thus ended the Middle Ages. Knights, chivalry, and castles were now a thing of the past. A new era began, the Renaissance: culture, learning, art, and exploration. Battles were still to be fought, but differently from now on. The Greek philosopher Aristotle said, "It is not enough to win a war. It is more important to organise the peace." Clearly, Charles VIII of France was not a follower of Aristotle, because by September he had lost Naples. Logistics, distance, and a refusal to embrace change simply meant the French couldn't hold on to this prize. Traditional castles building was no more. New fortifications would have to be thought up. So now we've had King William, King Charles, and now it's Walter's turn. I know, look, I know. What's all of this got to do with Resident Evil 4, you ask? Everything. Just hold on, I'm getting there. So, a Walter or a waltz, that's what we need now. Fast forward to 1935. Walt Disney is having an artistic blockage. "Right," he said to his older brother Roy, "I need some inspiration. Do you know, there's not a single castle in America, Not one. I've got some great ideas about Snow Night and Sleeping Beauty and loads of other stuff, but what I do need is to find a home for them. What do you think? Roy said, "Looks like you, me and our beloved wives are off to Europe, Walt." So off they went on a grand tour of Europe, sailing on the luxurious trip Normandy to England first, then France, Germany, Italy and Spain. No doubt on this mission he talked about William and Charles, no doubt he saw castles, the Tower of London, Craigiever Castle in Scotland, Windsor Castle and many more. He goes to Germany. "Mein Herren Disney, welcome to Germany," said the official. "How can we help you, gentlemen and ladies?" "We'd like to see some castles, please." "Well, yes, it will be a pleasure. We have some of the most beautiful castles in the world. I'm so glad you've called this year. You see, next year we Germans will be busy hosting the Olympic Games. And after that, well, we'll be planning World War II. So it's good timing." So off they went to discover. They visited castles in Bavaria, south of Munich, built by King Ludwig II in 1896. This romantic, beautiful castle was the inspiration that Walt Disney needed for Sleeping Beauty and Prince Charming. He also used this as an outline on the Disney logo. He visited Hohenschwangau Castle nearby, which was King Ludwig's childhood home, and Wartburg Castle, known for its medieval architecture. Disney would have been enthralled, his imagination running riot. In France, he was taken to see Chateau d'Us in the Loire Valley, Chateau de Pierrefonds at Oise, and Mont Saint-Michel, a stunning castle in Normandy, which had been around since the 8th century and rebuilt in Duke William's time. But they hadn't seen enough. Perhaps sitting at a pavement cafe in Paris, Walt may have mentioned to their French guide, "Pierre, that I've seen so many castles, everyone's stunning, which one is the best?" "Ah, Monsieur Disney, as a Frenchman, I shouldn't say this, but you need to go to Spain." So off they went. "Hello, Signor Disney, welcome to Spain. How can I help you?" "We'd like to see some castles, please, but I believe you have the best one here." "We do indeed, and I'm so glad you've called, and you've just come just at the right time. Next year we're going to have a civil war, you see, a military coup if you like. Yes, we have the best castle in the world, Alcazar de Segovia, just 70 miles north of Madrid. Alcazar started as a Roman fort, then was built on by the Berber Almoravid dynasty around 1120, and was improved upon by the Reconquista of the Spanish Christians drove out the Moors from Spain. It was everything Walt was looking for. "This is it," he said. "I'm going to model Snow White's castle on this. I found my inspiration." So indeed, Alcazar Castle was the influence for the fairy tale castle in Disney's Magic Kingdom. Then along came Resident Evil 4. "We need a castle for the game," said the writers. And who knows what they used? Maybe they'd been to see the Magic Kingdom, maybe not, but it's certainly a castle in the game. Some say there's an influence borrowed from Neuschwanstein Castle in Bavaria, and even Chepstow Castle in England nudged their imagination. But Salazar Castle in the game wouldn't look out of place in the real world, that's for sure. Sometimes you just have to let your imagination go. And what better way is there than to let history be your guide and fire your story? Thank you for indulging me. This is Ashley's dad, showing that you are never too old. Until the next time, take care of each other. Bye.